town. I'm the one you call when you need a tin up or down. I'm a tent rental man, I'm working all day, getting those stakes in the ground no matter what they say. From sunrise to the night, I make sure everything's right. Yeah, I'm a tent rental man, I'm working all day.
All right, well, we are live tape right now. This is another episode of Under the Vinyl, a rental management media podcast. For those of you who don't know, I am Kyle Richardson with L&A Tent Rentals out of Hamilton, New Jersey. We are strictly a tent provider. We own very little tables, chairs, and we own no tabletop at all. And this is my co-host, Nate. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name. I can't do it right.
It's Nespajani. So I'm Nate Nespajani. I'm with Chattanooga Tent. We are a local and national structure provider. We travel the country doing raised level flooring, structure, and tents. Large sporting events down to weddings. I'm actually the GM of our national office, or our Nashville office. Started that office 4 years ago, just traveling the country, putting up tents. So Kyle and I got this idea to start this podcast. For those of you that don't know us, about a year ago. Yep. Exactly a year ago. Just trying to bring some education to the industry. I know there's a lot of older guys out there who have a lot of stories, good and bad, that don't want to share. So that we just kind of want to bring the older guys in to educate some of the younger guys on stories of the past and kind of show that there's a pathway, not just within the tent and rental industry, but as a whole within the equipment industry as well. We've had a lot of great guests on there from people that are in the equipment industry, people that are in the event industry, just giving their insights to show that there's a career path, that it's not just a job that we started, when 21 years ago is when I started. And
yeah, I'm 20 years in at this point now.
Yeah, I'm making $6 an hour washing chairs and smoking cigarettes in the wintertime. So now I have a family that I'm able to provide for. So we just, we want to show people that there's a way that you can make this a career and it's not just a job in the summer. So that's kind of who we are and why we started this. And we're glad to bring you guys along today.
So just a quick show of hands. Who is on the equipment rental side out there in the crowd? All right. And the event rental side?
Good mix.
Good mix, yeah. 50-50 probably. Pretty close.
So we're going to give a little rundown here today. We got Rob up here and we got Sean just to go over some things with them and some different things going on in the industry and things like that. So Kyle, go ahead, bud.
So this question is going to be for you, Sean. How did we end up here today? What kind of was the association's vision to get this event started?
We had the idea to kind of come together, the area of Chicagoland. We used to run tabletop in Illinois every year. And they've sort of merged it as area in Illinois now. And so we said we kind of wanted to carry on that tradition. And we were talking on a plan to try to make that happen for this year. And the area of Wisconsin had made mention, hey, would you guys want to maybe do this as a joint thing? And we said, yeah, let's give it a try. So we kind of made up a little side committee, a couple of people from Wisconsin, a couple of people from Illinois. And the initial plan is actually to host it in Lake Geneva. And we were looking at a bunch of different spots there. And believe it or not, it's a very popular place to go skiing around this time of the year. So it was going to be pretty expensive to host it there. And they said, it's not going to work. We've got to find something else. And Shay, who was one of Robert's employees, they mentioned, hey, why don't we just try to have it at our place? We said, wow, that's like a crazy idea if we can make that work. So here we are.
That's great. I think we were talking earlier today too. I think, Lake Geneva would have been great for those of us who love to ski, but I think it's good, especially with these warehouse tours that we were doing today, and just to see, we did a warehouse tour in North Carolina. That was probably one of our top views on the podcast. But it's good just to see the different things in the warehouses, take some ideas. I know talking with Rob yesterday just about the different things in this warehouse, they took some ideas for some other rental companies that they visited, and getting out there and talking with people like that. So I think great idea to have it here so everybody can get some really good ideas and get some good insights.
Yeah, I mean, look at that linen conveyor system. That's one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life.
That's an AI of linens right there. I love it. This episode of Under the Vinyl is brought to you by Anchor Tents and Clearspans, a fifth-generation family-owned company making tents and clearspan structures right here in the USA. Anchor isn't just about selling the best products on the market. They share decades of experience and stand beside you as you grow your business. Anchor's craftsmanship and engineering give you a peace of mind and will allow you to use the equipment for years to come, season after season. For the next generation of rental owners and installers, Anchor aims to not just be your supplier, but a trusted partner helping guide you into the right products to grow your business. Call to be connected to your sales rep today, 1-800-544-4445, or visit their website at anchorinc.com.
For us to be sitting in this room together as not only competitors, but colleagues as well, and being able to learn from one another, share ideas, and learn from one another is key, because it's such a tight-knit community. And so we didn't get to where we are today without the association, without the networking, without going to other buildings and doing store tours around the nation as well. And so it's real special to be able to not only host one, but be a part of them. So if there's ever an opportunity, I know we've got some people there's some guys from Michigan here as well. Just ask to attend these. They're super beneficial.
Well, there's obviously a reason we're all standing here today, and that's because this is your place. So tell us a little bit about Event Essentials and how y'all got started. I know you gave a little brief earlier, but if you could just tell us how you guys got started, where you are today, and in between a little bit.
Sure. So we were started in 1954, again, by Rex and Enid Hoffman, which is Kevin Hoffman's parents. Kevin's standing in the back there. Wave your hand. And Kevin's parents are also actually one of the original 21 founding members of the association. So we've got a long history and lineage of being a part of this. And again, started out as just a general tool location, a United Rentals franchise. And from there, we'd been in 3 or 4 different buildings prior to this one. And, it's been an awesome journey. I've been here for over 20 years. My wife is also in the business, which is Kevin's daughter. And so it's been a lot of fun learning every day about the ins and outs of the organization and how it can improve and take care of our employees and learn from our peers and things of that nature. So, 70 years is a long time, and hopefully we can see 100. It's certainly a goal. And,
Well, it's no secret walking around this place that in your mind, employees are first. What drives that culture? I mean, just the cleanliness of the place, and everyone I've met is so nice and welcoming. What kind of drives the culture in this business for you?
That's a great question. I mean, a focus in the last few years has really been on the actual culture of the business and the organization, and getting our team members involved in decision making, making sure that they're aware of the changes. It's my big thing is you take care of your employees and the employees will take care of the business. And so that's been a really big push in the last few years, especially getting into a building of this size. There's a lot of changes, a lot of expenses and things of that nature, and growth and product knowledge and things that we know that they're going to be faced with as far as challenges go. And so making sure that we're also a support system to them. When I was going on our tour, you saw some photos of the building under construction in our break room, and we took a day mid-construction and we did some training with the entire staff, and then we surprised them with a tour of the building because we wanted to make sure that they were involved in it from start to finish as well. And so it's really important to make sure your employees are taken care of each and every day.
Well, and just walking down the hallways, we were touring today and yesterday, seeing all the pictures of the employees, and nobody has a title. And I asked you that, and you said that there's a purpose, that everybody's together and kind of comes together. And I love that it is an environment where everybody feels like one, no matter your position in the company, but everybody has one goal and one objective.
Yeah. It was another added touch that we did about a year ago. And if you do walk down that hallway, that's right where the bathrooms are, there's no title, no department, no names, and we're all intermixed because it takes everyone here to make the business successful, and so we want to make sure they're aware of that.
So what were some problems that you guys kind of set out to solve when you guys moved into this building, or why you guys moved into this building? I know that it's a rental company. There's a lot of problems that you're looking to solve, but just give us some of the ideas behind the different things that you've done in this place.
Yeah. So our biggest challenge at our old building was first and foremost space and demand. We just simply could not keep up with the demand. And there was about 2 years straight of us every single summer refusing business, declining business because we just couldn't keep up. And so we ran into a lot of efficiency issues as well. We had product that was not only on the racking, but it was down aisles, and we'd move product to get to product. We were highly inefficient from loading and unloading trucks. The warewashing area was kind of in its own confined space. And so it was either take that building and modify it and just decide that we're staying there, or listen to the customer's demands and make the big leap. And it's certainly scary, but with the team that we've built and having them a part of the process has certainly shown the success of the business in the last 12, 24 months.
Have you seen that you're able to scale much faster, or now that you've moved and are much more efficiently?
Yeah. I think the biggest area of growth has been our linen and warewashing. And as you can see, the way it's laid out at our old building, I was saying that it would take us end of October to just about the beginning to end of February to process all the linens from the summer. So we were super inefficient in that area. And now you can see we're probably 3 to 4x as far as capacity goes from a linen standpoint. Never are we more than a week behind, even in the peak season.
Well, and we looked at that RFID cabinet the other day where you're able to count the linens just by rolling the bin in now, instead of having to have a person individually count them, which might take an extra week after they come back. So even just loss, I'm sure you're making up in gains just from putting in systems like that. Yeah,
technology was huge too. I mean, going into the RFID, you had to walk through the linen and counting sorting area to get to our loading dock at our old building. And we had 3 or 4 people that's all they did was count linen and napkins every single day. So, just again, back to taking care of your employees, giving them those resources to make their lives easier each and every day. And so RFID was one of the biggest transitions that we made prior to moving in here, because then we knew that the next steps were a linen conveyor and additional efficiencies in that area too.
Well, shifting gears then too, so you guys are holding the first in-person tent training for ARA. I believe it's in March, correct?
April 7th and 8th. This is a big announcement.
April 7th and 8th. So first in-person tent training here at Event Essentials. Why is that training happening, and why did you guys want to jump on board first?
Well, I think we're actually second.
I don't know. We're going to have a competition here, Robert. We're going to find out. I might move my dates.
Yeah, there you go. I think it goes back to being an industry of one, making sure we're all on the same page from a safety standard standpoint. And so, having Brian Bolt added to the ARA team and pushing this initiative from a safety tenting perspective, I think is huge. Trying to get ahead of the safety standards. You go into different cities, especially for those that are traveling nationally or regionally, and trying to set that expectation before arrival that we are educated, we know what we're doing, so that we're not in question every single time. And then again, back to the employees, giving them those resources to feel as though they have the tools necessary to be successful day in and day out. They've got the proper training, they feel educated, so that when they are asked stop by an inspector, they know what to say and do. So we're looking forward to it. I have no idea what to expect. I know there's a lot that ARA is working diligently on behind the scenes in preparation for it. So, with that there's going to be some coursework that is going to be required for your staff to take. So a little bit of back to school, and then an in-person day and a half, I think, is what it's going to take to receive their certificate. So
how do you see these trainings? Obviously, they're slowly coming out more and more now as the 3 associations are working together to get them out there. How do you see that impacting the future of the industry?
Well, the hope is that it's a standard. I mean, we're hoping to set the standard in safe tenting so that, we've got uniformity across the nation. And again, back to, if you are traveling state to state, city to city, even in locally, you can talk to those fire marshals and inspectors and either show your certification or maybe educate them a little bit more. I think we're held to a standard that is pretty difficult to meet with the building codes. And I feel as though that if we're taking the initiative, that then they're willing to listen a little bit more, because they do have a lot on their plate. They've got a lot to manage.
Yeah, we're held to a standard that every municipality decides how they want to interpret the law every time.
Has anybody in here taken any of the fundamentals of safe tenting? 1, 2? Awesome. Yeah, so we got, obviously it's got the anchoring fundamentals, the frame tent installation, and then the pole tent installation is would be coming in March?
Yeah, and end of March or April, yeah.
End of March or April, so that'll be coming as well. Kyle and I have both taken all of them up to this point so far. And I will say it is something I would highly advise that everybody jumps into. Just the different things. It's almost like an apprenticeship, starting as an apprenticeship and working your way through. Just for your new people onboarding, or even people that have been there forever, just to kind of give them the knowledge so we don't go back to, well, that's the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
And giving them a route and a path to show them that there's different ways to go about things, I think is wonderful for our industry.
Yeah, and as the season ramps up this coming spring, I would highly consider at least having your new staff take the foundations. So that way, if they walk in on day one, they have an idea of at least what they have to do. It's easy to try to explain to someone in an interview of, we go put up tents. But the foundations course is great. It teaches them at least some of the basics of installation and things like that, things that they can expect on the job site or in the warehouse, and some safety things as well. And that's completely free through all 3 associations. So it doesn't cost you a dime to have them take it. And they might go through the course and say, I don't think I want to put up tents anymore. So you can kind of weed them out from the beginning.
Yeah, I think the other thing is taking advantage of, when they're talking about these educational courses within Rental U. I know we've got some area staff that's here to talk more on education, but there's a lot of great courses within Rental U to help even with the onboarding of your staff. So that's something that the area is constantly working on, and having, you're able to build that platform of onboarding process, and having this as an added tool, especially in the event industry, is huge. I mean, I know they've done a lot of work with MUP and aerial forklifts and things like that, but this is a game changer, I think.
Well, I think it also impacts your company culture as a whole. I think the way you go about your day-to-day safety in the building as well as on site, it starts here as soon as they get out of their cars and they clock in. Whether it's safety vests, hard hats, whatever it is, as soon as you step on site, taking that and moving it to the actual site and showing the customers and everybody outside of these walls that, these people are being safe, that they are held to a type of standard, and that is what our company wants.
Yeah, and I think that's why these things are so important. I mean, I've already learned from talking to a few people today that we're not perfect by any means. And so when you come to these things, you pick up on 1 or 2 things, you can go back and change your business. That's huge. I mean, it's, you take too many ideas back and nothing gets done. So hopefully, what you're learning today, either from this podcast or from anyone else today, is you take 1 or 2 things and go back and impact your business in a positive way.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate it, Rob. And we're going to jump over here to Sean. Sean, tell us what's happening over in Illinois, in the Midwest.
Yes. So next on the slate for Illinois, we're actually having a annual golf outing. It's another thing that the Chicagoland used to do every year. So we kind of want to carry on that tradition as well. Slated to be a pretty big event, so full shotgun. So I think like 144 golfers are going to use. So anybody wants to put that on your calendar, I believe it's second week in May. But that's a big one for Illinois. I know that some of the other states like Ohio, I think they have like a clay shooting coming up. And Indiana and Ohio have a mixer down at the show.
Perfect. Tell us a little bit about the trends in labor and kind of what you're seeing on the equipment rental side and things of that nature.
Pretty much since COVID, like just finding people, to actually come in the door that actually want to work, and put in the time. The labor aspect of it, this is not what it used to be. I think everybody kind of wants to either work from home or, come in and be the boss right away. So that's been a challenge.
What are some ways that you're finding that you're attracting talent? Any tips or tricks out there?
I would say putting out there who we are initially, and letting them know like what the culture is and the things that we value as people in general, and that we value our employees.
Well, I think that this industry has always not been the prettiest industry to jump into for the most part. The construction side or even the tent side, both of them haven't been something that everybody sees as a career, like I said earlier on today. And so I think that's been hard, but I feel like we're starting to get to that point where people are starting to see that. Social media is huge in helping that. But I feel like there's so much more pass through even the equipment rental and the tent rental side. So is there any type of pass that you guys are showing or giving to your current employees?
Yeah, we've put specific names on things, to kind of show people that it's more than, when I started back in, the mid-2000s. It was like, oh, you're a counter guy, or this or that, so if we actually give them, your inside sales, like your job is actually really important, without you don't have any business. So trying to show them that there's like a career path to more than just, oh, you just answer the phone. Business a lot more than that. And the same with, our yard guys, our yard techs. We try to show them that it may seem monotonous, but it's always different. Every day is a different challenge. You could deliver the same machine, 10 times in a row, but the experience of it is going to be different every time.
Well, I think it's hard for the younger generation because it's more of a I want it here and I want it now type thing. So trying to project that.
Yeah, and we've sent, our younger people to like young professionals events, gotten some of the women in our company involved with women in rental, so we're trying to show them that it's a lot more than just a little small town rental store. It's see the big picture, and we try to bring people along with to the rental show so they can see and meet people and come to these sites too. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone here today is willing to take the leap and attend events. And I think a lot of people in the industry, in the rental industry as a whole, sometimes miss the big picture of attending things like this or the national events. Nate and I have a group text, and we occupy, I think, every corner of the country with people that are in the group that we've met at events like this and become friends with, and now we can bounce ideas or problems off each other. So that's a great benefit of coming to events like this, the ARA show, YP, like you talked about. And even just getting your employees, like you're saying, to those events are huge, because if they make friends, they're able to solve problems without even having to come to you.
Well, getting this many people to show up on a Saturday is something. I mean, this is probably the biggest association meeting that we've come to that we've seen. So congrats to all you guys for showing up today and getting involved.
Yeah, taking the time out of your schedules. I mean, I feel like we don't get slow anymore as the demand for everything increases. So kudos to all of you for showing up on a Saturday. Friday night, last night was great. So yeah, kudos to everyone here.
With that, the demand in equipment and kind of client expectation, how have you kind of seen that change? I feel like we're coming off the COVID high finally. And so things are getting a little bit more level playing field. Numbers are either leveling out or going down a little bit. Some people are getting nervous for this year, but I think people are doing stuff later or last minute. How do you guys see that?
I was sort of expecting last year to be a little better than it was, following the elections. But sort of towards the end of the year, there was a little bit of a spike. It seems to be carrying over into the beginning of this year, which is great. So in terms of that, I think that looking ahead into the future equipment-wise, I think we're in good shape. But for sure, the COVID aftermath it's pretty much over at this point. There's equipment readily available at all the vendors. The ones that are here will tell you. There's plenty of stuff out there. So that part is definitely shifted. I mean, there was a point 2021 to 2023, you couldn't find new equipment, and the used equipment market was through the roof. I mean, you were selling stuff for more than you bought it for, and it's 5 years old. So there's been a decent shift in that too.
And I'd say from an event standpoint, I mean, it's kind of getting old talking about COVID. So we try not to bring it up anymore. I mean, it's nearly 6 years ago. But we were just talking about this last night, is that we're seeing more, we call it back to normalcy from a booking standpoint, from an event standpoint, is we're booking stuff for 2027. We haven't done that since that episode. Yeah. And so, I think it's nice because from a planning standpoint and of staffing and product purchases and things of that nature, we haven't been able to do that in the last 5 years. And so I think that's been a nice shift, you'd say. But I don't think that we're ever going to see the last minute stuff go away. We were at a NACE event in Milwaukee, and that was one of the key topics, is that the people are going to plan stuff a month from now, and it could be one of the largest events you do. So just be ready.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, is hard being ready with the with labor, as we talk about, trying to find the labor for the last minute things like that. But also the buying, talking with just some manufacturers and talking with Anchor, and how buying has become, you go to the ARA show and it's always been, people in the past had bought at the ARA show or bought at ATA, things like that. Now it's almost like people are waiting till after the shows to buy, because they're waiting for the demand to come in, or they're waiting to see what happens, or just people are starting to do more last minute stuff or later in the year. So now it's harder to go buy at these shows.
Well, as prices are increasing, obviously, you're buying less on speculation now, I feel, and more on actual need. Maybe pre-COVID, I'm sorry. I said
Realistic.
Again. You would buy on spec that, this is what I think I'm going to need, whereas a lot more decisions now are data-driven. This is exactly what I need, so that's why I'm going to be buying it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. And I think if you talk to the vendors, they're seeing more and more of that buying, shifting happening. I still think it's highly important to get to these shows, because they are offering show specials or show only specials, which is great. But I think that also, when they do that, that also helps predict their demand too for the year. But that's a big shift for us, has been we're buying throughout the entire year, rather than, spending more than half your budget in the first 60 days. And then you get to October, November, and you need to buy more equipment. So, but I think that's also due in part to the shift that we're going to start to see in planning ahead for some of these events.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's jump over to just serving on the state and national board for ARA. How has it been for you guys to serve on the state and national side, and kind of what have your roles been?
I currently serve as Region 5 Director. I also failed to mention that in my speech this morning. So I'm Region 5 Director, serving on the national board. So Region 5 is Wisconsin, Illinois, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. It's actually one of the largest regions.
Are you bragging right now?
Steady. And so it's been an honor, really, to be not only asked to serve, but to be a part of the national board and understand how the association ticks and takes care of the members and the associate members, and education and government affairs and everything in between. And so I'll be ending my term at the end of the ARA show here in about a month, and Sean will be your new Region 5 Director.
Yeah. So similar, I've been serving since 2019 in Illinois board. I think I've been president for the past 3. And it was an honor that I was nominated by Robert, to move into this position. Super excited to get going. It's gonna be a lot of work, but I'm excited to get out and see everybody and visit SOAR and see what I can do to help members.
What's the biggest thing you've taken away from your involvement with the associations?
And I would say it's just, it's fun. I mean, giving back, being able to put this together for everybody here and giving the opportunity to, share this experience, really. All the stuff we do is really just to give back to the members, for what they put in. And anytime we put on any kind of event, whether it's education or, a Bulls game or anything like that, it's just fun getting out and networking and getting a chance to, see with your peers.
Well, I don't think people see the behind the scenes stuff that is really being done either, and the depths that you have to go to. And I mean, obviously you have a full-time company and job to do, right? This isn't something that's a paid position. This isn't something that anybody would want to just sign up for. It's somebody that takes a passion to do this. And that, I think that getting everybody involved in that to understand, hey, we're trying to put this together for the betterment of the industry, betterment of everybody's companies is just something you don't really see behind the scenes. But like I said, to have this many people show up today and everything else, why do you think that involvement matters for the industry to you all?
Well, volunteering has been ingrained in me since I was young. Back in high school, it was a requirement to volunteer and give back before you could graduate. And I continued that all through college. And then once I, started working full time and understood the opportunities to be a part of either the state chapters or, the Chamber of Commerce or whatever, and all those are all volunteer. And so, the mentors that I've looked up to and talked to within the industry, all they tell you is just say yes. When you're asked, just say yes, because
that's all you do as a rental company anyways. What's different?
That's true. But you always get back more than you ever put into it, tenfold. The people you meet, the experiences, the education, and then you can take all that back to your business and implement some of those things. And so whether it's YP, Women in Rental, state chapter level, there's a lot of great national committees that they're always looking for volunteers to be a part of. Just say yes.
Well, let's just finish then. What would be a piece of advice you guys would give to anybody coming in new to this industry, somebody looking that has just started to scale to something of this magnitude?
You first, Robert.
Luckily, you asked me this question yesterday.
Yeah, well, you had practice.
So now you got to do a different answer.
So Kyle, I think, had the best answer. First of all, know what you're going to rent. But in all seriousness, I think it's becoming a member of ARA, which we're all doing, understanding what the member benefits are to help you grow your business, network, connect, get to these events, and volunteer and step up and serve the community and the industry, because it's highly beneficial.
The only thing I would add to that is if you don't know what you have available, to reach out to somebody, one of us or somebody that is involved in the board. We can definitely help.
We appreciate you guys and having us up here, and I love what you guys are doing and seeing what you guys are doing in the industry. So thank you for that. Thank you to Event Essentials as a whole for having us. And I think we got a lot more coming for the rest of the afternoon and tonight. So we appreciate you guys coming on today. And this has been another episode of Under the Vinyl, a rental management media podcast.